Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer. This weekend was yet another huge Golden Gauntlet tournament that is the official Marvel Snap tournament run by some of our old friends from Snap Judgments League and some of our old guests and collaborators. This tournament, as always, basically shakes up the whole meta. Every time that there's an official Marvel Snap tournament, we get a ton of new decks, and these decks become a huge, huge part of the meta. They redo everything we think we know about Marvel Snap. We are going to look at, I believe, about 16 or 17 different decks, and everything in the top 16. We're only going to look at things that repeat once the time that they finish higher. But in addition to those like top 16 decks, anything that repeated, we grabbed you extra decks to make sure that we have plenty of cool stuff to talk about. Let's get ourselves started with our old friend Browthe. Hey, Browthe. Browthe is one of the top Marvel Snap players in the world. He finished around the top 10 of the Infinite Leaderboard last season. He's an absolute monster at this game. He has won major tournaments in the past. He took a updated version of there's this Darkhawk Supergiant deck that Ika made that we're going to talk about later. Um, Browdet, Derek, and another top player who I'm forgetting off the top of my head decided to take this Red Skull Supergiant version of the same idea. Basically, the idea is here that Supergiant gives you a really, really strong play into things like Move, gives you a really, really strong play into all of the end of turn decks that are out there, while you're just putting up massive points by using cards like Red Skull, cards like Starbrand, and you even have room for a little control with Shadow King, Red Guardian, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. This deck puts up absolute tons of points. Cam Best has been talking about this deck a ton as one of the best decks in the game lately, and it performed exceedingly well in this tournament as a meta answer to the things that people are doing. If you want simple points and a little bit of tech, and points and tech has long been the sort of formula for the best Marvel Snap decks, then this is one you're going to want to look at. 26th place finish or no. In 25, we have Tommy. Tommy is, and I mean this without any hyperbole, the single best Black Knight player in the world. He is absolutely unbelievable with the card Black Knight. He plays almost exclusively Black Knight decks. He finished around like 13 or 14 on the Infinite Leaderboard last season. Um, he almost won. There was a one trick tournament. He came in second place in that tournament, losing only to Sizer with Move, and he damn near beat Sizer. He's an absolute monster with this deck, and he's now qualified for Worlds with his version of Agatha Black Knight. This is a version that simply uses Agatha as deck thinning as a way to get an extra Black Knight card. Everything else about this deck sort of works just fine, right? You're trying to get Black Knight out ideally, and then Lady Sif or Red Shift to get rid of Agatha. And if you don't do that, you run for one early. It happens often enough because of the deck thinning that you end up way ahead. And then outside of that, like you get a little bit of extra power from Victoria Hand, the Red Shift card, Valentina, and the Shard themselves are all cards that Victoria Hand can buff, and you get a little bit of control. You get to protect your stuff with Cosmo. Shang-Chi was still very prevalent in this tournament, although we're not going to see many Shang-Chi decks today. And then you have Cosmic Ghost Rider for all the end of turn stuff, and then Infinity Ultron for an extra bit of snappability and unpredictability. This deck has an absolute ton of options. This deck has an absolute ton of things it can do to put up massive amounts of points and control the opponent. Really great to see Black Knight. I consider Black Knight Agatha a damn near dead archetype as compared to Hella Agatha right now. And Tommy's just so good with Black Knight that he was able to perform at an exceedingly high level and qualify for Worlds from it. Next up, we got Izak or Ezak. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry, friend. This is an ongoing deck. This is a straight up. I'm just doing the ongoing thing. I'm trying to get the Iron Man, Onslaught, Moonstone, and Mystique combo going, or I'm trying to get Onslaught with Mystique copying Onslaught into Mr. Fantastic in lane. If you can do either of those two things, you end up with massive lanes that are extremely and exceedingly hard to beat. That's the entire list. This doesn't do anything else that's fancy. It either does Iron Man Onslaught and Mystique, um, and Mystique under Moonstone, or it does Onslaught copied by Prodigy Mystique into Mr. Fantastic. Either one of these is enough to beat almost anything. The deck is therefore clearly vulnerable to disruption, but if your opponents can't stop you, if your opponents can't break your combo by either stopping magic or running Mobius or something like that, then they end up in massive amounts of trouble. It's just that simple. This deck is utterly, utterly disgusting when it works, and I'm happy to see it doing so well. Also, please note, Adam Warlock finished at 21 in a nearly undefeated deck, in a one-loss deck in this tournament. So, hell yeah. Way to go, Ezok. At 19, we have a mini mover. That's right, Zwinge taking a mini mover, a little, I'm going to move some Human Torch around, I'm going to make a Hydra Stomper Craven, Topaz Hellion list. I'm in love with this. This is one of the lists that I'm going to be taking for a spin myself here. We're not running 10 move cards, right? It's just Torch and Dagger. But with Craven, with Hellion, with Cloak, those cards are enough power. Those are the power cards of the move deck. And because we're moving extra with Topaz, because we have the Ghost Bearer Aranya, Doctor Strange, we get an extra like 10, 12 power Hydra Stomper out of the deal, which is like about as big as your Vulture is usually going to get, but with far less work because all you really have to do is just drop the damn Hydra Stomper for some power at the end of the game. This one is once more a beauty. This deck does not want to lose to Mercury, and so it runs Rogue. I'm so impressed with this deck. I absolutely love it. It's very simple, although this is one that is going to run you reasonably expensive in that I think every card here is kind of required, except Rogue, but like you own Rogue, right? So I think you do need Hellion and Topaz and Stomper and Sparky to play this, but like even then, that's like 4 high series cards. That's not that bad, especially because a few of them are series 4. I'm really excited to try this. This is one that I will be taking for a spin on stream like immediately. All right, next up, we got Dylan Sai. Dylan Sai hit with the Victoria Hand list. This is our standard Victoria Hand werewolf list, the kind that our good friend Honifer, the current #1 ranked player, has popularized. He's not playing this version right now, but this is the version that he has made sort of the de facto default version of the list. And this is the best Victoria Hand, I believe, unless I'm forgetting something, the best Victoria Hand we're going to see. No one talks about Victoria Hand anymore. End of turn, and all these other decks have sort of taken their place, taken its thunder. But Victoria Hand, especially when combined with Merlin and Werewolf, is still an extraordinarily powerful deck. Merlin, Werewolf, and then Bastion have added a new element to the deck, as Shadow King going back to 2 means that this is the most natural home for that. We've got now 2 ways to combo off multiple Victoria Hands. We've got a massive Werewolf, tons of demons. You love to this deck, or I love this deck, and I'm happy to see it still doing well, as Victoria Hand remains bubbling as, like, in my opinion, the very top, the like most clear and powerful tier 2 deck. At number 16, defeated in the top 16, which is where the cut happened, is the great Sizer. Our good friend Sizer, the often, including last season, #1 ranked player, I believe 8 times now, #1 ranked player, 8 times #2 ranked player, the best in the world, seems to always make the cut when he plays in these, but has once more fallen short of actual victory. Tournaments be rough that way. We've talked about this list 100 times on the channel, so I'm not going to waste your time by going into any insane detail, but Sizer decided, importantly, to take the bounce version over the Heimdall Alioth version. I personally don't think that's the right choice in this current metagame. I think Heimdall and Alioth are the more powerful version, the more consistent version, and the less disruptible version, as we are seeing a lot of things like Cosmo and Alioth, and this deck does struggle into Cosmo Alioth. Still, one loss until losing in the top 16 remains wildly impressive for what I think is the best Marvel Snap player in the world. It's worth noting, for anyone wondering, Aranya is the only remotely replaceable high series card here. If you have Doctor Strange instead of Aranya, you should be totally okay. Outside of that, this list is just kind of gross. Really, really powerful, tons of power, and it remains the hardest thing in Marvel Snap to play and play well. At number 15, we have, that's right, baby, Cerebro 5. Not just regular Cerebro 5, Cerebro 5 with a Shadow King in it and a Mobius in it, saying, I'm not going to get scammed, is this Cerebro 5. We're not bothering with Luke. We're going to say we're going to take those locations that mess up our Cerebros, then we're going to play a Ms. Marvel gameplay. The most important card on this list is, and always has been, Ancient One. Ancient One makes Cerebro 5 a deck. Because what happens with Ancient One is you either triple Cerebro or you triple Ms. Marvel. Tripling Cerebro on 5 power is 14 power from each card there. That means 2 cards in a lane is likely to win. Tripling Ms. Marvel is 15 power in both sides lanes, assuming you can get the other ability right. That's fairly likely to win. And then anything that can sort of like scale over the top you or really give you trouble, you've now got Shadow King for, which is a really cool idea. This deck has been my baby since about 2 or 3 seasons ago. I hit Infinite with it, just absolutely dropping like 40 power lanes on people with no remorse. I love this. I'm happy to see it doing so well in a tournament. It's really hard to stay against this when they play Ancient One. If someone plays Ancient One with this list against you and snaps, if you don't have a way to counter them, it's so hard to stay. So this is an amazing tournament option, and a deck that I think more people should probably play if more people owned Ancient One. I think the problem with this deck's prominence is that Ancient One is not especially owned. Ancient One and Ms. Marvel are required cards. You do not need Scarlet Spider. You are perfectly able to, instead of Scarlet Spider, run Captain Marvel if you own her instead. Next up, We have the Dumaluma deck. That's right. We thought this was gone. It is apparently not, finishing at 14 in the tournament. This deck was built by our friend Mastar Puppet. We have another kick-ass Mastar Puppet brew waiting for you. It will come soon, I promise. We've got another Mastar Puppet brew coming, but this is the original. Mastar Puppet built this. Our friend Dumaluma transformed it a little bit when Cosmic Ghost Rider came out, and this list still cooks. This list still cooks, people. It is a forced fair play list, right? Mobius and Stardust force fair play, and then you punish opponents for trying to play fair as you're cheating energy with Wiccan, blowing them off with Negasonic, or moving their abilities with Cosmic Ghost Rider alive, and you just have, if they have to play fair, usually the biggest thing in Galactus. This deck was a bit chased away in for a while when Move was everywhere, but Move has receded, so this list is now just back to being one of the strongest things you could possibly do in all of Marvel Snap. And now, that's right, number 13. You thought C5 would be the highest Cerebro? No, 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 friends. Cerebro 2 continues to absolutely cook people. Cerebro 2 is what looks like a power deck, really a control deck. It is a Nico changes locations. It is a Mercury stops move. It is a Shadow King stops opponents and your own negative abilities. It is a Red Guardian removes ability. A Luke turns things off. A Storm steals lanes. This list is about control and then popping unbelievable power, unexpectedly unbelievable power in those lanes. If you get both Cerebro and Mystique, it is very, very hard to beat this list. Even with just Cerebro, having 20 power lanes with this level of disruption beats a lot of decks. I think most of the high series stuff here is needed. I don't think you necessarily need Ravona. Ravona is incredible. What Ravona really opens up for you is Cerebro, Mystique, and Shadow King last turns. That's obviously incredibly powerful. That's really, really useful. That's going to win you a lot of games. You can also do Cerebro, Mystique, Sinister type shenanigans too. But like, there's enough other good 2/2s that you'll be fine, and you only lose one play while still maintaining the rest. The deck still works at a really high level. This has become the go-to brew of this. This is the one everyone plays. So if you see Cerebro 2, assume that this is going to be the deck, as this is just continues to perform at a really high level. We're seeing an awful lot of like just straight up stock medalists at this point in the tournament. Our tournament life, we know that Dumaluma list is like the standard Wiccan list now. We know the Cerebro 2 list is the standard Cerebro 2 list. The Cerebro 5 had one extra card in it. That's the standard version of that list. And now we have an awfully standard version of another deck. This is Mr. Negative. What's medium spicy about this negative is we're doing Rogue and Super Scroll. People basically stopped playing Mr. Negative when Mystique was changed to a 3/1, and that's clearly a mistake, right? The deck got worse, certainly, but it didn't get so much worse that it's unplayable. It didn't get so much worse that it should have disappeared. Our friend Bullseye QWERTY is still printing infinite borders with this list. It's a really, really powerful list. It still remains extraordinarily powerful in Conquest. And remember that tournaments are played in fundamentally Conquest format, open deck list, but Conquest format. It has Rogue to deal with opposing Mobius. It has Super Scroll to deal with opposing ongoing BS. And between those two cards, it runs a standard as life, like these are in every negative deck, negative list, and puts up points. It finished in 12th place. It doesn't have every good matchup the way it used to. I was able to just straight up put up more points with end of turn decks sometimes, but everyone's metting against end of turn decks. So that kind of deck not being on means negative, again, a fairly stock list, is going to be the standard. Great shout on choosing to play this from someone here ago. Hey, it's not Vision season, but we're giving away a season pass of Zombie Scarlet Witch coming up at the end of the week. All you have to do is sub, like, and leave a comment on this and any video this week. That's your entry to win. Every video comment is an extra chance of victory. Next up, we've got Arishem Thanos from our good friend Teebs. And you know where Teebs got this list, friends? Last week, I did a top 10 decks to get infinite video, and this list was on there, and Teebs was busy, and they messaged me and were like, by the way, I grabbed that deck from your video, and I went undefeated in Swiss, only losing in the cut. It's really good. Well, here's the list. It works. We told you about it first. You could have had this for a few days. Arishem Thanos is back to just being a medalist. You don't need Agamotto. Agamotto's nice. Don't get me wrong. But you don't need Agamotto. You don't need anything except really Arishem Thanos and Mockingbird here. You can sort of mix and match without Cosmic Ghost Rider, run an Enchantress. Without Legion, run a Hellion. Whatever. You can mix and match cards. Merlin's amazing here. Oh, Enchantress is here. Sorry, you just mix and match. You run a Vision, you run a Claw, whatever. Isan is suddenly a great card, as now you have just like extra value out of him, playing him on turn 5. Everything about this deck sings. I'm going to say something. Don't yell at me, comments. I've been having a lot of fun playing Arishem Thanos lately. I think that this version of it, because of Merlin, because of Agamotto, because of Isan, is an absolutely blast to play. And if you are like, this deck is boring, it just does tech. It's still doing tech, but now it's doing like kind of cool and weird tech, like Cosmic Ghost Rider and Legion, and it's running Juggernaut, which is like really cool to weave in. I don't know. If you haven't played this, let's give it a shot. At number 10, another one of our old friends, Mr. ELA, with a freaking Storm, War Machine, Legion list. This is outside of that, just like a regular good stuff list. We're running Mercury Cannonball to steal a lane if we can win a Storm lane. We've got War Machine to just drop big infinites on people's heads. We've got Jennifer Kale for some lovely ramp when we need to. All sorts of good stuff here, right? Like all sorts of cool stuff that opponents are gonna have a hard time dealing with. We put up a bunch of extra points. We're running all the big one drops. Really, really cool list from ELA as always. You're in a tournament, right? And you're just trying to like play well and respect your opponent's draws. Your opponent drops Storm and Snaps. Do you respect the War Machine Legion? Whether you do or not, right? Like you're getting punished when your read is wrong, and that's what this deck preys on. I drop Storm, I snap. You stay, I drop War Machine. Are you staying at the end of the game? You just gave me double hues. Are you now going to stay for 4 to see if I have the Legion? Are you going to stay for 4 now that I've won that Storm lane? You know I can drop an Infinite? And when I don't drop an Infinite, I drop in a Mercury Cannonball. How many cubes did I get? That's what this list does. It's really strong right now, and I think everyone just kind of forgot about it. It's not unbeatable. Obviously, didn't win the tournament, but I'm happy to see ELA bring this old favorite back. It's a really cool list. At number 8, another friend of the show, it's Zombies Go Nom Nom with a slightly different version. We're running Kahori as extra goodies. We're running Iron Patriot over Merlin. Outside of that, it's the same list we talked about. The Zombies Go Nom Nom, Arishem Thanos finishing in 8th place. Zombies has been a little bit off Marvel Snap lately. It's so great to see in the zombie season, the great Zombies Go Nom Nom finish in the top 8 with his own version of Arishem Thanos, his own twist on Arishem Thanos. I think that this list might actually, well, okay, it's really hard to credit this archetype to anyone but Roram, right? Who won the second Golden Gauntlet with it and who's been playing this forever. With that caveat, however, I think this version, the Isan version, is actually Zombies' idea. So huge props to him. Way to go, Zombies, for finishing the top 8 with a honestly a list that's really strong. This one was all over the top. Three variations of this finished along the top cut. Number 7 is a deck we're going to see higher up on the list. So instead, let's go to number 6. A version of this is what I thought Sizer would have brought, but another of our all-time friends, another of the people whose decks are on the show all the time. It's Madame Ava. It's Avazord. You can find Avazord as Avazord on Twitch. Please do check out Zombies and Ava on Twitch. They're amazing people. Just great players, great streamers. So Ava is often one of the top players. He has stopped competing for the top of the Infinite Leaderboard. He used to finish in the top 10 all the time. Now he plays much more casually and just shows up for tournaments and seems to always make the top cup. Even with Sizer in the last 2 of these tournaments, Ava was the top ranked move player in each. He's a brilliant move player. He's won and finished in second in major tournaments multiple times in the past. Back when I used to call Snap Fan tournaments, I believe he was in second in one of the ones I called. This is our standard move list, except we're running Cosmic Ghost Rider instead of Eliath. The simple logic here being I don't necessarily have to care about Prio. I can actually throw Prio, which is far easier to do with Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Cosmic Ghost Rider is significantly better against end of turn bullshit. You'll note that no end of turn bullshit, as everyone teched against end of turn. No end of turn bullshit ended up anywhere near the top of this tournament because it was ridiculously teched against. This is, in my opinion, or a variety of this is, in my opinion, still the best deck in Marvel Snap. It is a very hard deck to take to a tournament because a lot of people are running Mercury. That's the other thing Cosmic Ghost Rider adds that Eliath doesn't. You see a Mercury, you drop a Cosmic Ghost Rider, and all of a sudden, you're just good to go. That is turn 5. It might be too late, but it also might not because Heimdall is a card. You just have to play clearly and carefully in order to set that up. Still super powerful. Rank 6. Props to Ava. Good job, my friend. In number 5, the winner of the last tournament was a version of Classic Discard. Well, that deck got Colonel America and Zombie Power Man this past week, and it finished not first this time. Bruno EX finished rank 5. This list we've been talking about forever. This is the Malekith version. This is my day 1 version. I'm 95% sure. Is amazing. This is probably going to be the go-to version of the list. People have been mixing and matching and trying to figure out what the right cards are to run with Zombie Powerman and Colonel America. This version, finishing in 5th place of a major tournament, means that at least for the time being, this is going to be the go-to version of the discard. When I tell people which one to play in future videos, it's going to be this one. Props to Bruno EX for piloting it to an amazing, amazing finish. I'm very impressed with all the, particularly with all the Cosmic Ghost Rider we've seen, with all the like enchanters we've seen floating around, that this one was able to do so well. Before we go forward, if you're still watching this video and enjoying me talking about these decks, please hit a sub, leave a like, and leave a comment. It means the world and helps support the channel and helps us grow some more so we can help grow Marvel Snap some more. So if you're willing to, sub, like, and comment. All right. Number 4 is the Great Iris. She continues to cook unbelievable decks fairly regularly. She nearly broke the meta with that like version of the Legion move deck. Not Legion move deck, excuse me. I always call Hellion Legion. That version of the Hellion move deck that was around for a little while, the Hellion thing for Steps deck. She got sick of breaking the meta that way and decided to break the meta with Dak and Surfer. I mean, Cougar must be so sad right now. Dak and Surfer is his baby, and he didn't bring Dak and Surfer, and Iris was able to finish in the top 4 with it. So Dakin is unbelievably great here. It is a card you can cop with Frigga, a card you can cop with Moon Girl, and you can win the game basically anytime you do that. You want to very much like need to bullseye for this to really cook, but you can get extra as long as you can get an extra Dakin. You can agony and then all of a sudden Dakin 7, and now it doesn't really matter if you only get 2 Dakins and not 3 Dakins. You have that option, and you can also just sort of occasionally win with just silly little Surfer gameplay things, right? Like Surfer for a bit of extra power, a little bit of extra power on Shaw, Shaw on agony, Surfer Shaw, and you can steal some games that way too. And then Gambit gives you a high roll. This list is really cool. Like, I don't know what else to say except that I really, really, really like this list. I think it's a very cool list. I'm a little always surprised that Moon Girl is not just Bastion in it. I mean, it could be either or, I get it. But like I think Bastion's every bit as good as Moon Girl, but hey, I didn't finish in the top 4. Iris, thank you so much for this really cool build. Keep shaking up the meta. This one is awesome. I love this list so much. Come check me out. I should be live on Twitch with a special guest in a little bit. I'm going to get coached by one of the top players in the world on stream, twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. Come check it out. You won't want to miss this. All right, number 3 is the winner of Golden Gauntlet number 2, Aurorum Pixel Guy. He's the third player that played that list that Derek and Browday played. Exact same deck. The Supergiant version of the list ends up finishing at number 24 and at number 3. Roram takes it. Roram cooks, almost takes down his second Golden Gauntlet using instead of using Arishem, this time using Supergiant. This is, I think, one of the preeminent tech decks in Marvel Snap right now, right? If you want tech endpoints, play this list. It's incredible. It's one of the best things to do. It's, again, an update of the idea Ika had as the way to counter the meta. Nope, not that. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. We're not doing a vote right now. Wait, no, where's number 2? I didn't make this one. We'll look at number 1 in a second. Number 2 is from a player named Apoy. I don't know Apoy, A-P-O-Y. They took the Ika deck. One of the lists that we didn't see in the top 8 is also the Ika deck. This is the list that Ika took as a way to counter move and as a way to counter end of turn shenanigans. Well, Apoy finished in number 2 with it. It turns out that Supergiant is one of the premier cards in Marvel Snap. Series 4 card. If you have access to the other cards that go in the shell, go get it. You're going to be able to absolutely cook people with it. Supergiant with Negasonic right now is insane. That's Quake, by the way, in the number 2 deck. Terrax with Darkhawk is incredible. We saw 3 Arishem made the top 16. 2 made the top 8. You get Darkhawk and Cassandra Nova as free cooking of that noise. Hell yeah, Apoy, way to go. And the winner, I guess Cougar's not too sad that Doc and Bullseye was taken by other people, because our homie, our old friend, the great Cougar, cooked with a homebrew. A lot of these decks were decks we've seen. A lot of these decks were decks that have been on tier lists, decks that we've been playing for a while. Not this one. Cougar was able to take a brand new deck of his own, a move deck that runs Cannonball, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and win the tournament. It's just that simple, right? Like, he took a deck that no one else is playing, no one else is talking about, and was able to steal the tournament. Cosmic Ghost Rider, this is sort of a descendant of the deck that, well, it's a descendant of Scream decks, right? First and foremost, the classic Scream build has sort of morphed into something that looks like this. And then over time, we had a Legion version of this that ran different 5-drops. It ran Thing for Steps and I said Legion again instead of Hellion. And Hellion in that list, uh, that version has morphed into this from Cougar, and he's able to absolutely cook with it through some great draws, through some amazing play, saying you're not going to be able to get past me with the Mobius. You're not going to be able to grow a 1-drop and steal games with Electra. Your move decks are dead to my Mercury. Cannonball, and of course, the old favorite Cannonball and Mercury are going to be able to steal lanes. Juggernaut's going to be able to steal lanes. This deck has an answer to everything while having real points. Hydra Stomper appearing at 2 real top decks is a bigger surprise to me than Quake. I am hugely and unbelievably impressed with this finish from our good friend Cougar. We will be doing a full turn by turn for this list in the coming days. A full breakdown for this list coming soon. In fact, perhaps you should check Marvel Snap Zone relatively soon after this video goes live if you want a sneak peek, if you want an early access to that. But props to our wonderful, incredible friend Cougar for an amazing finish. Top of the Golden Gauntlet. He told me he was washed. I think he may have lied. He's also the deck I got an Infinity Border with last season. He's cooking on fire. He's at the top of his game and at the top of the world, and now everyone knows it with the first place finish in this Golden Gauntlet Worlds qualifier. Again, this list is just like I put up points. My Hydra Stomper is big. My Miles Morales is big and cheap. My Craven grows. My Sam grows. I got Batrock is huge. All these points. Nope, we didn't see any Killmonger. And then I counter things because I have Cosmic Ghost Rider. I kill things because I have Cannonball. Mercury stops opponent move. Everything in this deck works together. This one is amazing. It's a deck that really loves knowing the opponent's deck. Knowing whether you should Mobius or not is huge here. Knowing how good Electra is going to be and whether you should hold her is huge here. This one is a beast of a deck. Cougar is brilliant, and I'm so proud of him for conquering this tournament. And that's it. We have a Patreon. If you're interested and willing to support the channel, check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. If you're not, hey, no harm, no foul. Hopefully you check it out. Our Patreon list is actually an old one, so I'm not going to list the patrons. Sorry, my lovely friends on this video, because I didn't update that slide. This is like the last Golden Gauntlets version of it, so it's got a bunch of random people on it, and it's missing a bunch of people. So sorry so much about that. But please check out patreon.com/snapjudgments, where in apparently 29 out of 30, not every single video, you can get thanked on every single video out loud. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Snap Judgments. We appreciate you very much, and hopefully you stick around for more great decks. I got something else special for you tomorrow, because I think covering Zombie Mr. Fantastic in a usual new card video is a little silly. He goes in Victoria hand decks, and sometimes he goes in like some Cook style decks, and that's it. Spoiler alert, we're done with that card. We just told you where it goes. So we'll cover it, but like it's going to be brief. So we have something else special for you tomorrow. Make sure you're here for it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting Marvel Snap. I'll see you tomorrow or on Marvel Snap Zone if you want the breakdown of that top deck. Peace.